I want to get your take on the ongoing row surrounding Nike, which has an advertising campaign out there right now for sports bras, for women's sportswear. Clothes for women, and the person that they've hired to promote these products, this range of clothing for women, is not a woman. It's a trans woman called Dylan Mulvaney, and many women are furious about this. And what I would say is, hang on, it's a range of women's sportswear, including sports bras. And there's Dylan on screen there. And you've chosen someone who doesn't have breasts to promote a sports bra and other women's clothes. What, you couldn't find a single woman to promote these products? What's this about?
I mean, you're absolutely right. This is a product for 100% women that actually have breasts. So it's a complete mocking of women. You know, why on earth would you put someone that wasn't a woman, they're biologically a man? And this is not just any trans person. This is the person that clearly mocks women. He's done things with Tampax where he's saying he's using them. He's talked about having a period. He's talked about getting pregnant. So this is a person that clearly mocks women. So he's actually the worst person in the world to have as a brand ambassador, because he's mocking women. And this move by Nike to do this is, you know, it's made women furious. We had the Olympic champion Shannon Davis calling it out and saying that, you know, this is offensive to women. We shouldn't be buying from brands that mock us.
That's what I'm saying. You've got Sharon Davis, former Olympic swimmer, is saying let's boycott Nike products. I don't like commercial boycotts, but in this instance I think that it's the only way forward for women. They've got to make some sort of statement. And also, impressively, the famous, also a former Olympic athlete, by the way, the famous American trans woman, Caitlyn Jenner, has come out and said the same. This is unfair to women. This is wrong. Don't buy these products. So you've got some powerful voices telling Nike where to get off here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this brand deal should have gone to a female athlete, you know, a female athlete that works incredibly hard. And, you know, Caitlyn Jenner, I was speaking with her the other day on Twitter and stuff, and, you know, she is an athlete, so she's been through this. She knows what it's like to get all these sponsorship deals. And she said as well, this is really mocking women, and Dylan is not a great role model for women or even for trans people. He mocks them as well. So, you know, I think Caitlyn said the right thing. And
also, I mean, that to go back to drag queens, as I say, I have no objection to them. They don't really affect me very much. I've seen a few, been quite entertained by them. Some of them are very funny. I saw Paul O'Grady in his day when he was still doing Lily Savage down at the Vauxhall Tavern. So I've got, it doesn't really enter my life, but of course, you know, when you say, oh, they're completely harmless, a lot of women say, well, we don't think they are harmless. We think that they mock femininity, that they mock women. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can clearly see that argument, because a lot of these drag queens, it seems like a fetish, you know, they're all in the lingerie, they're doing sexualized shows, and so women do get offended by that. You know, we've had pantomime, we've had drag shows for a long time. Like you said, the late Paul O'Grady was a class act. He was, you know, a fantastic act. But what we're seeing now is this kind of almost fetishizing being a woman, you know, and you have these people now going into women's spaces, and that's the real issue, when they're going into women's toilets and restrooms and, you know, making women feel uncomfortable and, you know, in this fetish gear, trying to sexualize what it is to be a woman without even understanding what a woman is.
What would you say, finally, Ollie, been great talking to you, what would you say to a kid, I won't cite an age, but a kid confused about their gender, thinking about making serious life-changing decisions? What advice would you give them?
Well, there's a lot of pressure on kids these days, you know, from spending a lot of time on TikTok. You know, I don't think TikTok and other apps is very healthy for a kid to be constantly on there, because it does change their way of thinking. So if they see Dylan Mulvaney and they see all these gender ideology videos, they become susceptible to believing in that. So I just think, you know, kids need to protect their childhood as long as possible, you know, stay off the phone as long as possible, enjoy your education. We shouldn't be exposing kids to drag queens in schools, and just, you know, just let kids be kids. If they're struggling with their identity, it's perfectly normal for a teenager to do that, but we need to help them navigate through that into adulthood, because most of these people that question their gender as a teenager, they grow out of it as an adult.
Well said, Ollie. Really good to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming in. That's Oli London, the author of Gender Madness, One Man's Devastating Struggle with Woke Ideology.